Time moves slowly deep amid the sleeping hills of border country. A family tragedy, a century old, haunts this parish still.
It was something that needs, as everybody says, is never talked about. There was little to go on, and it was not until I inherited diaries and letters that I began to look into it.
Miranda Michels is descended from the Wilmot family. 5 boys and 6 girls whose childhood seemed to be one long Edwardian summer.
Just boating and picnicking, and they helped their mother do the cows and stuff like that. They had a glorious childhood which was brought to a close rather more quickly than it should have been.
When war was declared, the boys rushed to join up. Tom, who was farming in Canada, the keen sportsman and adventurer, desperate to do his bit.
It's difficult not to be fond of him because he was such a live wire and so positive and fun and full of enthusiasm about everything.
100 years ago this week, he went over the top at the Somme, one of the war's bloodiest battles that ground on for 4.5 months. He won the Military Cross for bravery.
On the 22nd of July 1916, Tom writes home, "My dear mother, at last we've come out of the fighting for a rest. It's absolutely wonderful the way I go through these shows untouched." A month later, he was dead, fatally wounded in an attack on a German trench.
His mother Kitty received his medal posthumously, but her heartache was far from over. Older brother Cecil died a year later from lung disease contracted in the trenches. 3 months after that, Robert, her eldest, was killed by a shell.
She didn't have counselling, she didn't have anybody coming and giving her talking therapy, she got on with it. Her biggest strength was her belief in God. I had 5 great uncles, of which 3 are the ones that died.
Miranda's visiting their old school, Hereford Cathedral, Kitty's diaries and the boys' letters, bringing the story to life for the younger generation.
The Somme is obviously very kind of scarring, really, because it caused so many deaths and casualties.
Even though it is horrible to think about, we should never forget because we should learn from those lessons.
They gave everything, and for them to be still remembered by the younger generation, I mean, that's what's important, you know, that they go on being remembered by ever younger generations, I think.
Here and there, they are remembered, and in the hills of their halcyon youth, they shall not grow old. Giles Latcham, BBC Midlands Today, Yatton.